Okay, good morning. All right, everybody. So, welcome to Coffee with Clients. My name is Stephanie Scotch. I am from Birmingham, Alabama, and I started Optavia 5 years ago. I started the 5-in-1. I was 168 pounds. I was a food addict. I was a binge eater. I had undiagnosed anxiety disorder, undiagnosed ADHD. I was obsessed with exercising because I wanted to be thin. I was isolated because I was in a marriage that was very emotionally abusive. The marriage was a train wreck, and I was not perfect in making that wreck happen. Right, like I was also there creating a mess. I'm a mom. When I started Plan, my son was 12 years old, and y'all, he desperately needed me to be healthy. But I was stubborn enough to think that I did not need help. So I just kept trying to do this alone, and I was wrong. I needed help. So I started Optavia. I ate 5 of these snacks, shoved them in my mouth. I ate a simple lean and green. I drank my water, and I leaned into my coach, and I began to breathe again. And I plugged into this community, even though I thought it was weird, and I thought I was too busy, and I thought I was too cool. I wasn't. I wasn't any of those things. It was just my ego trying to protect me. So I started plugging into these calls and this community. I even said yes to coaching, even though I was in no way, shape, or form the picture perfect idea of a health coach. I was still overweight. I had only been on Plan for 6 weeks, but it was really the missing link to kind of closing that loophole of accountability for me. And so here I am 5 years later, still coaching. Um, the result of leaning all the way in to Plan, leaning into your coach, leaning into the community, keeping it super simple for me was I ended up losing 53 pounds. Y'all, I've kept it off for 5 years. So I'm still a food addict. I'm just recovering. I still live with anxiety and ADHD, but I don't numb it anymore. I'm clear, right? Like my head is clear. And I have found friends that are like family, like Renee, like my Laverne and Shirley. And I've healed. And that is why we fight like we do for health when you see us on these calls and when you see us posting. Because really it was never about the food, right? Like the reason that we are here, it's never, ever, ever about the food. It's about the pain, the shame, whatever it was that broke us in the first place. And so I had to really like put the crap down, like put the margaritas down, put the Cheez-Its down, put the Zaxby's nibblers down that I was hiding. Like I would go through the drive-through before dinner and I would eat the Zaxby's nibblers and then I would go throw my garbage away before I got home because I didn't want anybody to know that I had eaten that. And then I'd go eat dinner. I had to put those things down because in my brain, logically, it's like I knew this, but I wasn't clear enough to realize this. Those things were not going to fix my marriage. They were not going to fix the job that I was in that I hated. They were not going to fix the chaos that felt out of control in my life. I grew up in a home that was riddled with addictions, alcoholism. When I got married, that carried over. There were hidden addictions. There was porn addictions. There were hidden pill addictions. All kinds of addictions that take you to a place where you just feel unsafe. And so, in order to feel safe, I went to false comfort. The only thing that I felt like I could control, which was false comfort. For me, it was spending money on crap I didn't need. It was eating the Zaxby's nibblers. It was eating a full box of Cheez-Its before bed or after everybody had gone to bed. That was my drug of choice. Like I had an addiction too. Mine just happened to be food and false comfort. So when we have these like hidden addictions that we have lived in homes with, that nobody knows about, by the way. Like I live in the South, so we'd go to church and we'd put on our nice clothes and we'd put that smile on our face and nobody knew. And that's really heavy to carry. So when you're carrying all of this weight, and you've got these hidden addictions like living with someone who does different pills and porn addiction, it really messes with your self-worth. So that made me even more of a control freak because I really was trying to protect myself from the pain and the chaos. So either I didn't eat or I would binge eat and then exercise to punish myself for eating. Then I would reward myself with chips and cheese dip and margaritas. And then the cycle continued. I just really used every chance I could to just escape the life that I was in. And y'all, things are still out of my control. Like, yes, I am healthy now. I'm at my target weight. I have done a lot of mindset work, but things are still out of my control, just like they're going to be for y'all. Like, nothing is ever going to go perfect. Think life is still going to life. It's still going to get difficult. Like, I have a son, he's 17. He's getting ready to go to college somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. He doesn't live with me, so I don't really get to see him every day. I don't know the ins and outs of what he's thinking or what's going on. And that's hard for me. And that's out of my control. Or getting hate mail. Like y'all got hate mail the other day because someone didn't like that I was posting about my health journey and they told me to go eat a cheeseburger. And that I could have let all of that wreck me, like send me right back into the pantry, right to the Cheez-Its or the Zaxby's nibblers. I can't control what someone else says or does, but I can control what I choose to do. And what I can control is what goes in my mouth. So, like I said earlier, the whole reason we got overweight is not because we loved the taste of cupcakes. It's just because we have emotional mismanagement. And that's really why a lot of us got here. We just didn't know how to manage our emotions. We were never taught that. And so we have a false sense of comfort and control because we've been through some crap that was painful that we couldn't control. And so, in order to protect ourselves, we just go back to our coping mechanisms, which for most of us was food. So once you learn how to set boundaries and control your blood sugar by shoving 5 of these things in your mouth every day, you can start thinking clearer. You become less reactive, less grumpy. Life is still challenging, but you can get through it um, just a lot easier. So, okay, I want to open this up a little bit for us to just talk and see, I want to see where you're at this week. I want to make sure everybody knows about the 10x accountability system that we've got going on. If you are not leaning into that, then ask your coach about that. A client that uses our 10x accountability system is 10 times more likely to lose 10 times more weight, 17 times more fat, and retain 98% more muscle mass when you follow that system. And this is like a big deal. I don't know if y'all know this, and maybe you've heard this before, but when I heard this number, it was shocking. 85% of people who lose weight will gain their weight back if they don't change their habits and if they don't use their coach. So if you ever hear people say, "Oh, I did Optavia, but I gained all my weight back." Well, did they change their habits? Probably not. And so, of course, if you go back to eating Oreos and Zaxby's nibblers, every day, then of course you're going to gain it back. So y'all use your coach and use that 10x accountability system. Okay. All right. I'm going to open this up for some questions and comments. I want to know who's been on plan 100% this week. Put it in the chat if you have been. I also want to know, like, has anybody else here been told they were big boned growing up, or is it just me? And like they had broad shoulders? Heidi Driver, yes. Me. Oh, Tiffany. Oh, wait, Lois Springer. I got a wave. Yes, girl. We were not big boned. Nope. We have the same size bones. Um, oh, this is another question I want to know. Who hides, and y'all be honest, who is hiding that they are on Optavia? I want to know these things. Okay, let me stop recording and then we can open this up for all the good stuff. Okay, hold on.